Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. This is my video where I'll be giving you my West Ham United vs Chelsea preview for the game which will be taking place tomorrow, with kickoff being at 1:30 PM in the Premier League at the London Stadium. So what I'm going to do for you guys is that firstly I'm going to give you some team news which concern both sides, starting off with West Ham and then Chelsea because West Ham are the home side. Then secondly I'll give you my lineup, which will obviously be broken down into the formation and then the personnel in relation to the team news I am going to give you. Then third and finally I'm going to give you Paul Merson's prediction, and then I'm going to give you my prediction. So without further ado, let's get into this preview. Just before I get into the team news concerning both sides, I am just going to say that I am recording this before Maurizio Sarri's pre-match press conference has been held, so if anything changes then I'll let you know. But getting into the West Ham team news, they do have quite a few players out because of injuries and illnesses. Marko Arnautovic being the major doubt for this game because of a leg injury he sustained in their game against Everton, which they won by 3-1. So he could be a major doubt, but like I said, things can change. You never know if he could feature or not, but he is a major doubt. They also have Javier Hernandez out because of the flu, and he is doubtful. So again, he could feature in this game, but hopefully it doesn't because he has a very good record against us, which I'll mention in my 4 things in which we need to do in order to beat West Ham video. And then they also have Jack Wilshere out because of an ankle injury, and he definitely won't be playing because he's just had surgery and he'll obviously need time to recover. 3 other players they have out on injury, 3 other players they have absent are Andy Carroll, Manuel Lanzini and Winston Reid. For the Chelsea team, there's one major doubt so far, and that is Pedro, who sustained a shoulder injury in our game against PAOK on Thursday. It looks terrible, but according to the Daily Telegraph, it isn't as bad as it seems, and Maurizio Sarri apparently confirmed that. I just need to watch the press conference to see what he has to say on that. Also, Kovacic may miss out on the game, which I really hope he doesn't because he is a fantastic player, and he may miss out because he obviously sustained a minor leg injury against Cardiff City. So that's the team news so far from both teams. Obviously, I may be updated in Maurizio Sarri's press conference. I'll just have to watch it and then I'll give you the updates afterwards. So now for my lineup, which will obviously be broken down into the formation and then the personnel. Getting into the formation, like I said in my previous preview for the game against PAOK, it is pretty obvious what Maurizio Sarri is going to go with. He is going to go with a 4-3-3 with a deep line playmaker involved. That is his favourite formation, and that's his favourite variation of the 4-3-3 formation. So without further ado, I'm just going to go straight into the personnel I've chosen. In goal, I've gone with Kepa. He had a decent game against PAOK. He did make a few mistakes, but he is learning, so given time and he should improve. I've gone with a back 4 of Cesar Azpilicueta at right back. I've gone with a centre back pairing of David Luiz and Antonio Rudiger, and I've gone with Marcos Alonso at left back, although I would see why people want Emerson to start because Marcos Alonso did start the game on Thursday and he did have a good game. And also not only that, it was really hot in Greece. I believe at the time of the match it was 25 degrees, so it must have been boiling, and the players evidently got tired. So yeah, that's the back 4 I've gone with. But I would like to see Emerson start sometime soon, or even be on the bench. I've gone with a midfield 3 of Jorginho in that deep line playmaker role. Cesc Fabregas would be a good shout against West Ham, or possibly both of them. Who knows? Because you never know if Kovacic may feature in this game, but hopefully he does because he is a talented player. Yeah, Jorginho in that deep line playmaker role with N'Golo Kante and Mateo Kovacic just ahead of him. In the front 3, on the right hand side, I've gone with Willian simply because I don't think that Pedro should start this game with a shoulder injury. Shoulder injuries are very bad. I've had shoulder injuries before. They're really painful, and you never want to mess around with them. So I think that Willian should start ahead of Pedro. On the left hand side, I've gone with none other than Eden Hazard. He needs to play this game, and I think it is good that he decided to stay in London for the game against PAOK. Up front, I've gone with Olivier Giroud. simply because Alvaro Morata hasn't been doing it recently. Yes, in some of the last few games he has had to try and find space in between two lines which are so close to each other. So on that note, I can see why he would start, but he hasn't been banging in the goals, so I think he should start. I think he should start on the bench and then maybe come off the bench if Olivier Giroud doesn't do too well. But to recap, I've gone with Kepa in goal. I've gone with a back four of Cesar Azpilicueta at right back, David Luiz and Antonio Rudiger in the centre back positions, and Marcos Alonso at left back. I've gone with a midfield three of Jorginho in that deep line playmaker role, with Mateo Kovacic and N'Golo Kante just ahead of him, and I've gone with a front three of Willian, Olivier Giroud and Eden Hazard. Also, I'd like to see Victor Moses on the bench if Pedro isn't able to make the game, because I believe that Victor Moses, he needs to get used to Sarri's way of playing. So it would be nice to see him on the bench, or even possibly start in place of Willian, who could go onto the left hand side and he can go onto the right hand side, which will obviously mean that Eden Hazard could start on the bench, which could favour us, as if we need to bring him on, then we can bring him on so that we can change the game. But that's my lineup. Now to conclude my preview, I am going to give you my score prediction for the game. But just before I give you my score prediction, I'm going to give you Paul Merson's score prediction just for triangulation purposes. Paul Merson predicts a 3-1 Chelsea win because he believes that West Ham will have spells in the game, but it just won't be enough. And he also believes that Eden Hazard is far too good for West Ham. Now for my score prediction, I am going to go with a 4-1 Chelsea win because I believe that we'll have far too much firepower for West Ham based on the team news I've given you, and I think that we have been playing well so far this season and West Ham just haven't, bar the Everton game. So let me know what you think down below. That is the end of the preview. Thanks all for watching. I'll see you all very soon. Come on you Blues, and peace. Please beat West Ham United. Please.